Hello, I'm Gary. Getting to you here from Costa Rica, right here in the rainforest. And the subject of this little video is fasting, and I'm calling it Portal of the Mystics. And that's because I hope, like I do in all of my fasts, that at some point I have something that transcends the physical. Fasting is an experience of body, mind, and spirit, and initially it's pretty much just a cleansing of your body. Sometimes that's quite challenging, especially if you haven't done it before. You're liberating toxins from your tissues, they're making their way into your bloodstream to be eliminated, and you can feel really uncomfortable as a result of that. So that really is in all likelihood going to reduce any potential for a spiritual kind of experience. Then when you get beyond that, typically you start to notice a little bit of mental clarity. You might remember things suddenly that you didn't remember. You might more quickly retrieve information that you're trying to remember. That does happen, but again, that would typically be after you've gone through a certain amount of detoxification. Just to mention, in my case, I've done a lot of fasting. I've been through maybe about 35 fasts. This is the 18th that I expect to go 40 or more days. The longest has gone 47 days. Right now, I'm at 27 days, and my hope, as I said, is that some sort of an opening in that portal will show itself. If not, I know that I'm doing a good thing for my body, I'm doing a good thing for my mind. The idea is I will eliminate all fat from my body. I've probably dropped at least 20 pounds. That much I would say for sure. I'm probably weighing in 120 to 123 pounds. I'll probably get down to a bottom weight of about 116 pounds, started at 143 pounds. It's not about losing weight, but the idea is that you lose your extraneous. The extraneous is where the toxins are stored, and then what you do is you rebuild yourself using good quality foods, hopefully live foods, so that in the rebuilding process, what is left is no toxins and all good, vital, youthful, functional tissue. That's really the process. It's quite an exceptional thing to do for your health. For those reasons, pretty much all of our saints, saviors, savants, prophets, all those people fasted, and they all recommended doing it. A little bit about this particular fast. This one started different than any fast that I've done so far. I had started about a week before doing, just to do it, because I'm a curious seeker sort of a fellow, I started doing a kind of a mega vitamin C thing, and mega for me being, it was about 10 grams a day. So about every waking hour, I would pop a pill. And very strangely, I found myself awakening with flu-like symptoms, and I never get sick. And so I thought, okay, this could be interesting. It could be that that's promoting some sort of a getting rid of something. Because vitamin C, there are people that say yay, there are people that say nay, but vitamin C has very interesting health benefits. So anyway, I was trying that out, and that happened. And then I really didn't have a very pleasant day that one day. But the next day I woke up and I was still not perfect, but no fever, felt much better, knew that whatever it was on its way out. But that day that I was sick, I didn't eat anything at all, barely even had a sip of water. And the following day I thought, you know what, I was thinking of doing a fast, in a couple of months, and might as well just do it now. So I went ahead and I started the fast. But the really unusual thing is that unlike all the, well, say the last, 25 or so fasts that I've done, where I have ingested coconut water exclusively and herbal teas, unsweetened, is that this fast, perhaps because that one day I took in nothing, then the next day I just took in one single pipa, coconut water, and I felt fine. and then the next day I took in 1. And so it worked out that in the next 17 days, all I took in was a dozen pipas, which is just a little more than a half a gallon of liquid. And in other fasts, there were probably days when I took in a dozen in a single day. And then since the 17th day, it's been what would be called a strict fast, water only, except I do feel that there's very little difference between water only and drinking, say, ginger tea with nothing but, ginger essence in it, and also turmeric tea. These are things that clean the blood, have various health benefits, and so my idea is to derive the greatest health benefit that I possibly can, rather than just say water only, which I think is unnecessarily strict, and I particularly don't think has a benefit, because when you do a water only fast and there's nothing else, your body just tends to hold on to anything it can hold on to. I like the idea of doing whatever I can to help the body to eliminate. That's the point, is to eliminate the toxins. So far I have had nothing that would qualify for any sort of ooh, wow, that's really not of this world. None of that, nothing yet. Physically I felt pretty good. Today was actually a very challenging day in the morning. I mean, I'm really getting down to the point where I don't have too much extraneous body weight on me. I'll probably lose another 5 pounds, and then I'll just be like really tight in here and there'll be nothing left. And that's typically around when I start to notice things. And believe me, it's not like a hallucination or anything. That's not it at all. It's just that there's nothing blocking you connecting with that. Some of the things that you do notice right away, you notice that like my respiratory passages are absolutely and utterly clear. They're like highways through, where there's just no sense of anything blocking anything. But all in all, things have been pretty standard. And I think I'll just wrap it up with this first little thing. I'll be making new videos as there's something worth reporting, and you'll be able to follow along and be part of this. And perhaps this will motivate you one day to begin your own fasting regimen, which I believe to be about the best thing that we can possibly do for each other, or for ourselves. And hey, it's free, and you actually save money, but what you do is you save your body. Because let me tell you, people, this whole growing old, becoming non-functional physically, you don't need to do that. You just need to keep yourself clean. Okay, that's it for now. Hello. Today is, don't even remember what today is, but it is the 33rd day of my fast, and I want to talk about a couple of things. As you can see, I'm not much of me left. I'm probably weighing 120 or less pounds. I haven't left here, so no scale here. It's not an important thing to me. But I'm really getting down to the point where there really isn't anything left of me but the basics, just me and energy and what I really need. But the important thing is that I feel really good, and I wanted to talk about that both in the physical sense and in kind of a spiritual sense. So the first thing I wanted to mention, as far as the physical, because it's something it's very important, it's not really understood so well about fasting, and that is that fasting truly is a singularity, in the sense that when you fast, it isn't that you don't eat, it's that you simply, by removing yourself from the digestion process, you allowed your body to go into the maintenance mode process, and it simply cleans out everything and fixes everything and does all of that. And that is what is so vital about fasting, and that's really what needs to be understood. And whether or not you're doing something extreme like what I do, or whether you're simply doing like a 5-day regimen, or whether you're working up to that, or whether you're doing a series of those, or whatever it is, you're really allowing your body to do what its innate knowledge wants to do very, very much. And so it just simply needs to be understood. Okay, but what I really wanted to talk about more today, because I'm really getting into that time, is kind of more of a spiritual end of it. And it will surprise you that I really don't feel bad. This is the longest beard I've ever had, by the way. And I would tell you that what I've been doing every morning, it is the rainy season, it's the rainiest time of our year, we get rain every day, but as you can see, we have a beautiful sunny morning, which is typical. And what I've been doing in the early hours of that sunny morning is laying out in the sun in those gentle early angstrom wave times of the day, and I've been bathing in the sun for 30-45 minutes. And you might think that that would be weakening or whatever, but the simple truth is that at this point I've gotten to where there really isn't anything but me and a perfectly flowing metabolism. And I would tell you that here in the rainforest, with nothing but old growth around me, and of course I do have, what was former pasture, and there are fruit trees planted in that and all, but there, for miles there is nothing. There are no power lines, there's no nothing. And there are animals and whatever, and I see them, and it is just peace and harmony. And so I would tell you humbly that at this point, to some extent, I am blessed to be able to take within me a certain amount of that energy that is that pulsing web of life that is surrounding me. It's a beautiful thing, a glorious thing, and that's why I feel good. I really don't feel bad at all. It's 33 days, and I've taken all but no calories in during that entire time, and yeah, the weight's come off, but it's been fairly effortless. It really, really hasn't. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I would tell you, and this is really important, this is the reason why Jesus and Buddha and Muhammad and Socrates and Plato and Aristotle and Abraham and Pythagoras and Gandhi, this is why they both practiced and they proselytized fasting. Because it is a singularity of body, mind, and spirit. And maybe it sounds like I'm speaking clearly, lucidly, perhaps even eloquently. I didn't think any of this through. It's just that fasting has very wondrous qualities that come with it. And so I guess I'll keep this short. It's a lot to wrap your head around, the fact that maybe you can truly be part of this, that maybe this can buoy you up and be part of your essence. But as I said, I humbly tell you that really is the case. Just look at this behind me. There's that mountain to the rear there. That's about, a mile and a half away or something like that. It rises up 1,000 feet. And there's nothing up there but undisturbed nature. It's as pure and pristine as it could possibly be. By the way, I've been all through that. So, please people, if nothing else, connect with nature whenever you have the chance. All right.